kicked off here so that we have a few minutes to go through the introduction portion of our call. So if you're new to the call, I encourage you to pay close attention to what we share because it'll best equip you to know what's going on. So just watch and listen so that you become familiar with our strategy. So this is called the 8-minute trader call, and this is a demonstration. This will become a call that's exclusive only to active customers who are on a subscription to the strategy. Right now, we've had it open for free because we were excited to share with the public the strategy, since it's a dynamic strategy that needs to be plugged into every day. We wanted to show people what we were doing in the world of trading and show it for free so that people see the immense value of what can happen if you plug into this call every single day. Now, people who do attend the call do so at their own discretion. All of the trade ideas, concepts, images, and discussions on the call are delivered to everyone uniformly for educational purposes only, without regard to an individual's trade objectives, financial condition, or suitability, and should never be interpreted as financial advice. A lot of people ask about that. They ask if this is financial advice. The answer is no, because we don't ever tell you what to do. So advice is telling you what to do. We don't do that. We just share our screen and we talk about what we're doing, and that information is uniformed across the board for everyone. So if someone chooses to take that information that we're sharing and they choose to take action on it privately in their own account, well, that's at their discretion, right? We have no control or no involvement in that. Trading on margin does carry a high level of risk. That's important to know. So when you join the call, if you do follow or act on any of the ideas that are discussed, you acknowledge that you're trading at your own discretion and that you're fully responsible for the outcome of your decisions. Always remember that it's imperative to never trade with money you cannot afford to lose. So you'll see once we share our screen, it looks like this. And this is an MT4 chart, a MetaTrader 4 chart. If you don't know what that means, that's okay. It's just a financial chart that allows you to place trades if you want to, or just observe the price changes of different instruments. And we like to look at what's called the US 30, which is the futures contract for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And that's what we like trading at this time of day. That's what we've been trading for a long time. It's a wonderful time to watch the market open and see potential volatility, see any potential opportunities to place trades. And you'll see some green lines running across the screen. The green lines are something that we call a buy zone, and there's also red lines. The red lines are called a sell zone. So what we do is after the market opens at 9:30 Eastern, if we see a green candle pierce through the buy zone, we may look to enter into a buy trade. And if we see a red candle pierce down through the sell zone, we also look for a potential sell trade. Now, every day, the green and red zones are at different places because that's based on technical analysis. We don't go over the technical analysis because it's a long process. A lot of people struggle with technical analysis. So we do the technical analysis ourselves, and then we just show the buy and sell zones based on our own analysis on where we look to get into a trade. Now, we also don't get into a trade blindly, right? We don't just, hey, the green candle pierced the green zone, we're jumping in. There's a lot of factors at play here. We look at candle behavior, and there's a lot of other things happening in the background that are not visible to the participants that we look at in real time. Every day is totally different. Sometimes we don't take a trade because the market's not clear. We've been doing this call publicly now for, I believe, 21 or 22 trading days. And there's been 3 of those days, 3 out of the 21, where we did not take a trade. And sometimes we take multiple trades. That's called cost averaging. And again, if you don't know what that means, then I encourage you to just be an observer today, because there's a couple little nuances that you'd want to learn if you wanted to try and keep up with the coach or be able to participate or try to be as effective as the coach. But for those of you that do know what a cost average trade is, that's where you can reduce your lot size, reduce your risk, which allows you to place more than one trade If you place an initial trade, it goes against you, then there could be a more advantageous price to enter a second or third trade. And our coach does talk about what he's doing in real time. So it's a great strategy to watch and learn. Once we enter into a trade, you'll see the stats changing on the coach's screen in real time. This is an interface we built to show profit and loss, as well as the percentage of gain or loss in real time. So that's all about how to get in. It's more important to know when to get out of a trade. This is the part that hurts traders because, they're so quick to get in, and then sometimes they're so slow to get out, and it can hurt them. So if we see opposite color engulfing candles, meaning if we get into a sell, and then all of a sudden the trend abruptly changes and we see green engulfing candles going against us, we may look to close that trade. If we also see around a 3% drawdown or a 3% potential loss, we also look to close the trade. So that's just our system. That's what we've been doing for a long time. It's been effective historically for us this entire time. The goal of the system is to grow our accounts by a few percent a day, close our trades as quickly as possible while maximizing profit. Losing days are unavoidable. We've had 2 losing days in that same span of time. We had about a 0.5% loss about a week and a half ago. And then this last week, we had 1 solid loss of just over 3%. And that's okay. It all fits into our system because losing as a trader is like getting punched as a boxer. It's just something that you just have to embrace as a normal part of the journey. The goal is to have more winning days than losing days so that over time you can still compound your account, right? So our team, when we lose, we say, hey, that's great. That's awesome when we lose because it just means we're one step closer to our goal. This is a simple example here that if someone started an account with $2,500 and they won 3 days, but then they lost on the 4th day and they kept doing that over and over again. So they win 3, lose 1, win 3, lose 1. That's a great example to look at with losing days. If you're disciplined to close your losses at a reasonable time, can you still grow an account? Well, at 3% per day win and 3% per day loss, that would still average out to 9% a week. And that's just a mathematical example, right? That doesn't mean you're going to do this. It just shows that if you followed this system and you learned how to trade effectively to where you can have a winning ratio of 3 to 1, then that account would grow from $2,500 to over $130,000. So trading is powerful, but it requires discipline and consistency on our part, right? And the last thing I'm going to cover here before passing the call to our amazing coach is our risk management in terms of lot size. We use a total lot size within our system of a 0.01 lot size for every $1,000 in the account. Now that varies from broker to broker, right? You can use any broker you want. Different brokers have different leverage factors, different lot size factors of calculation. So this is something that you need to become familiar with within your own broker, within your own account to practice on a demo account and become familiar with how your broker works, right? Because everyone uses different brokers. This is just based on what we do, 0.01 per 1,000 total. So that means you'll see Coach Mo has about a $5,000 balance. That allows him to trade up to a 0.05 total. So a lot of times he'll go down to a 0.01, which allows for a maximum of 5 trades. 0.01 times 5 is 0.05 total, right? So I'm going to stop sharing my screen there. And Coach Mo, welcome to the call. Good morning. Hope your weekend was great. And take it away, sir. I'm going to go ahead and mute my line out.
Thank you, Sal. Good morning, everybody. People are starting to love Mondays. Some people are saying that they're missing these calls on the weekends because they're starting to really enjoy them. For those of you that have been with us for a couple of weeks, it's part of like now becoming part of a habit of just everybody getting up together, winning together, trading together. And it's something that's not a huge time commitment. If you're here as a guest for the first time, I mean, we literally trade for approximately 30 seconds to 2 to 3 minutes on average, and then we're done. But, the introduction's about 10 minutes, then some testimonies after the introduction, some announcements. So, the call tends to be about 20 to 30 minutes on average. But so what we're looking at right now, the market's been trending downward It's in a bearish, slight bearish momentum. You could see that it was in the sell zone. It was in the zone, but now it's moving kind of in the neutral area. So we'll see how this market reacts. Today could be a winning day. Today could be a losing day. So we'll see how it goes. So we're about 20 seconds out before the market open, and we'll see how it works out. All right, 10 seconds. Okay. I'm just being patient. All right, placing a sell trade. Just placed a sell trade. I'm in for 2 trades. Okay, it's still going down. I'm still in the sell trades. Let's see how this trade works out here. We're up about 1% win so far. Let's see if it continues with some momentum here. All right, still holding on. We're about about 1.1%. Let's see. I may start closing some of those trades that I'm open in. Hold on. Okay, let's see here. I just closed 1 trade. I'm holding on to the other 2. I'm just holding on. I'm holding on. I just closed the other trade, and now I have 1 more trade left. I'm just holding it for a second, and I'm going to hold it a little longer, and I'll close it right there. Okay. So just did quite good on that trade. I was pretty happy with that. Got into 3 sell trades, closed them at different points, and I'm completely out of the trade. So I closed all my trades already, and it was a nice win. I think, let me do the math here. I'll see what I ended up doing for the day. But I think this
In
is
the meantime, folks, while Coach Mo, while you're doing your math, we have enabled the chat, and you guys can let us know in the chat how you did, because we can't see your trading activity, right? So let us know in the chat how you did. For those of you that don't know how to calculate your results, you take your starting balance and then you take your ending balance, whether it's plus or minus. If you gained today, then what you would do is you would take your starting balance and then your ending balance. Look at the difference there. So let's say you started with $1,000, you ended with 1,100, and then you subtract the starting balance of $1,000 from the 1,100 that you ended with. That'd be $100 difference. So you got to find out that difference of where you started, where you ended, and then you divide the starting balance. So you divide you divide the margin, right? In that case, it'd be $100. Divide $100 by 1,000, which is your starting balance, and then that'll tell you what your results are.
Yeah, so just so you know, Sal, I did a 1.7% on that trade.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 1.7 is absolutely, it's earth shattering. It really is, right?
On a super conservative, super conservative. Yeah.
Yeah. And how many cost average trades did you put there, Coach Mo, with the 0.01 strategy?
Yeah, it was total of 0.03 lot size. So it was about a half of what most do and half of what, because it's almost at, this account is at 5,500 when I started this morning. So, you could do up to 5, right? 0.05, and I was at 0.03. So I still had room to put more cost averages if I wanted to.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Very, very good. And I'll let you guys know that we have a really big group on this call. So we have to train step by step and just kind of go over information slowly to make sure everyone keeps up. But as time goes on, we're getting ready to launch, and there's many different strategies that we have used in the past to maximize our results on this call. And if you guys see, the market is still dropping, and some days are like that. Every day is different. There's no way to tell what the market's going to do. But for those of you that see the market dropping, just know that we have a strategy on how to take advantage of that. Meaning that once we launch, we're going to show people how to take advantage of moves that continue to run. So it's there's so much in store, right? I like one of our team leaders. He talks about, hey, remember, this is a beta launch. This is pre-launch. It's free. We're only scratching the tip of the iceberg on what we're going to show, what we're going to get into, right? There's a lot more tricks in the bag, for sure.